Hey there, my Insta lovelies. It's Donna Hoffman. It's so good to see you. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the interior design advocate. That's because I advocate on behalf of design lovers everywhere. And I am not live on my Facebook feed. I am live, and I'm not live on my Instagram. Hang on. Hold the phone. No, no, and no. Wait a minute. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold for it. Live. There we go. Gotta love technology. Well, here we go again. Hi there, my Insta lovelies. Oh my gosh, sorry for that crazy false start. Facebook, sorry for the crazy false start there too. It's good to be here with you. Take a breath. It has been a crazy day here. Even though we're on lockdown, we've been shooting video all day and we've been behind schedule all day. So, but it's a blessing and a treat to be here with you now. I'm so glad. First and foremost, before we go into any design teaching, I want to know how you're doing. How is this COVID moment going for you? Are you okay? Are you hanging in okay? Is it okay in your state? Have they opened up any businesses? Are they talking about opening up any businesses? How's your heart and your head? Are you feeling like you can hang in, or are you just feeling like, I can't take another second of this? I have to admit, I go back and forth. I can feel really good, really strong, and then I turn on the TV, or then I talk to a neighbor at a social distance because I'm out taking my walk. And I'll tell you what, after a while, you think, I need a break from all this. So as long as I know you guys are okay, I'm happy to start teaching about some design. We're talking about chairs today. We're talking about what's up with all these chairs. There are so many different chair types and titles. You guys have been sending me questions. I thought I would do something on it right now. So first, let me just make sure everybody is A-okay over here. Looks like everybody's A-okay over there and over there. So if you're up for it, I'm ready to start teaching. All righty. So what's up with all this? There are so many different chair types. I'm not talking about styles of chair. I'm talking about the generic term for chairs, right? And some of them start to overlap. And I see you guys getting confused on the difference between an accent chair and a club chair. What is the difference between an accent chair and a club chair? And then there are the dining chairs and the side diners. And can an accent chair be a side diner, or can a dining chair be an accent chair? So let's start at the beginning. Let's go with the chair types first. We'll go from accent chair into club chair. So for the most part, accent chairs can have arms, or they can be armless. And club chairs always have arms. So there's a difference for you right there. But the bigger difference is that accent chairs tend to be a little smaller in general than a club chair. So let's just start by giving you a perspective. Let's think about the width of a love seat, right? A two-seater sofa is called a love seat. That width is 60 inches. So now you're going to have a basis of comparison. If a love seat is generally 60 inches wide, I want you to know that accent chairs tend to start on the smaller side. They can be as little as 25 inches wide, up to about 33, 34 inches wide, right? These are general. You'll find exceptions to every single rule. So remember, accent chairs tend to be smaller than club chairs by and large. Accent chairs tend to start at about 25 inches wide, and in terms of depth, they can be 25 by 25, that's really small. They can be 29 by 29, they can be 30 by 30, they can be 32 by 36. They tend to be a little bit on the tighter side. So let's go back to, for scale, let's go back to that love seat. If a love seat is generally 60 inches wide, right? That's how long it is. How deep are most love seats? Well, love seats, like most sofas, tend to be 39 inches deep to 41 inches deep. That's what gives you that nice sit, right? So you get pitched, nice pitch with depth, right? 39 inches to 41 deep. Now, chairs, on the other hand, for accent chairs, they don't tend to be as deep, right? They can be 35 deep, 36 deep, 39 deep if it's a really deep accent chair, but most accent chairs are more narrow, therefore they're going to be a little bit more shallow as well. Remember, accent chairs don't necessarily have arms. A really good example of an accent chair that's armless, a ballet chair, right? A slipper chair rather. So ballet chair. Have I been shooting all day? Yes, I have. The brain synapses aren't all working. A slipper chair is an armless chair, or maybe a low scoop arm chair, barely even has an arm, right? So accent chairs, they're also kind of eye candy in the room, and they're really great to use if you are tight on space, or if you just want to make an interesting statement. You can have a single accent chair or a pair of accent chairs. Club chairs, on the other hand, are deeper. They tend to be wider and deeper. So where an accent chair can be anywhere from 26 to 36 wide, a club chair is going to be anywhere from 36 to 38 wide and about 37, 38, 39 deep. Really big club chairs can even get into that 40-inch depth. But generally speaking, those club chairs are wider and deeper. Now, where does a barrel chair fit in with this? Well, now we're getting into shape, and barrel chairs tend to be on the slightly smaller order, generally speaking. There's an exception to every rule, but barrel chairs, when you're tight on space, that's a good way to get the feeling of a club chair with a deeper sit without taking up all that footprint, because they have those rounded shoulders. Sometimes they're on swivels as well, so they just take up less space. So when you're tight, barrel chairs can really be a good option for you. And then there are the chair and a halves. So chair and a halves tend to be even wider than a club chair, but not as wide as a love seat. How wide is a love seat? That's right, 60 inches. Very good. 60 inches long, right? So a chair and a half, those tend to be in that 46 to 47 inch width. They're wide. And they also tend to be deeper as well, like a nice big beefy club chair. The difficult part, I will tell you, with chair and a halves is that if you think you're going to be moving at any point in the next few years, those are tough to necessarily move into a new residence, as are sectional sofas, but that's a different title and Facebook Live altogether. So we've talked about accent chairs and club chairs. Accent chairs can be quite comfortable, but generally speaking, they're a smaller sit, they're a smaller width and depth than a club chair. Accent chairs can be armless or with arms. Club chairs tend to have arms. Chair and a halves are even wider than club chairs. What about the dining chair world? Well, there are side diners and diners. There are side diners, are armless dining chairs. A dining chair can have arms or no arms, but side diners are almost always armless. What are lead chairs? Well, you kind of decide what the lead chair is based upon what you put at either end of your dining table, right? So I'm called the host and hostess chairs. You can do an armed dining chair there. You can do an armless dining chair there. You can do a big beefier chair there as well. So when you're surfing online and you're seeing diners or side diners, that just means a side diner has no arms to it. Now, things can start to intersect. You can have an accent chair that's actually a side diner. In fact, I posted a link for you on Facebook to a really fun video that we shot at a trade show. And we saw this really cute accent chair. It was also a side diner, meaning armless, but also really interesting shape. And we played a game called Stump the Designer, and I had to name in as many options to use it in design contexts. I said that in such a wacky, weird way. Let me say that again. Rewind. I had to name in a minute as many ways to design with that accent side diner as possible. And I think Katie said I'd win a Starbucks if I got to 10. You'll have to tune in to see if I got to my 10. But anyway, we've already had one of our viewers say, hey, you gave me some great ideas. I already know what I want to do with one of my accent chairs. So take a look at that over on our blog. And I did put the link for that for you as well. So we've talked about accent chairs, club chairs, chair and a halves, diners, side diners. I think I've kind of hit it all. If you have any questions about a chair or even a sofa, I'll take a sofa question too, in your home right now, happy to answer it, or something you're working on for a project or want to work into a project, happy to take your question, so long as I don't need to see a picture to be able to answer you well. Okay, so if you missed any portion of this, you can absolutely find us on YouTube. YouTube, you'll just find us with the Interior Design Advocate handle. And if you're enjoying our videos on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. And girlfriend, if you're not already following us on Instagram, what are you doing? At Decorating Genius is how you'll find us. That's at decorating.genius. And if you want to know what's going on our luxury design company feed, you can find us at IDH Designs. In fact, we just posted a really great Insta story at IDH Designs talking about the ins and outs of a design project. We show before and afters, and I just talk a little bit about the design that went into it. Because as many of you know, aside from being called one of America's leading design coaches because of the online courses I teach, I also run a luxury interior design company. Even though we're on lockdown, we're busy. We're working on a lot of projects virtually as well. So let me see what kind of questions you guys are popping into the feed. Steve Hoffman over there is playing the role of Katie, so he'll be passing me questions from you gorgeous Insta girls. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so Joe's telling me she's doing okay, but she broke her finger sanding. Joe, well, on the one hand, I'm proud of you for using your stay in place time really well. And sorry about the boo-boo. Hope that gets better soon. Sandra's saying hello. Sharon, she has her moments too. Let's talk chairs. Good. Elena's saying, what type of chair do you recommend for a bedroom? I'm getting rid of a chaise. Okay, so great question. So Elena's talking about chaises. So chaises tend to be 60 long, and they can be anywhere from about 35, 36, 37 wide. They take up a lot of space because of that 16-inch right pitch into the room. I think a great chair to put into a bedroom is always an accent chair, because remember, you can get a lot of sit without having to use a lot of footprint. What do I mean by footprint? Footprint is how much space on the floor, literally, a piece of furniture takes. If you have a really big overdeveloped arm, or maybe think about a Chesterfield sofa or its companion as a chair, that big, thick developed arm, that big, thick back, well, that takes up a lot of extra room on the floor without necessarily giving you more sit. So I think a great option for you would be an accent chair in that bedroom to replace your chaise. If you want, you can do a small ottoman in front of it. And if you keep it tight enough on that ottoman, you don't even have to take up as much space as a chaise would. And certainly, again, if you're pressed on space, you can look for a barrel chair, which is a rounded shoulder chair. It's a rounded, it looks like a little tube, right? Like somebody took a big can and cut it in half and they made a chair out of it. The thing I would warn you about with barrel chairs, or tub chairs, they're sometimes called, depending upon the manufacturer, and there's one that drives me crazy, and we stopped even using them because of this. They're barrel chairs. The fabric, as it went through that rounded back, the fabric always got all warped and puckery, and it just drove us crazy, and it drove clients crazy. And one of the worst things in any interior design company is an unhappy client. So we looked at that manufacturer and said, they stink. We're not going to use them anymore, which is a shame because they do really good looking silhouettes. They do great ottomans, and they've got a big selection, but we just think their quality isn't worth it. Even though they come in at a good price, just not worth the quality headaches. So got onto a tangent there. So to replace your chaise, Elaine, I think an accent chair would be the way I would go. But of course, measured space plan, always a smart way to go. Measure once, measure twice, cut once, get it right. Okay. Tress is saying, thank you for the information. So glad to finally join the session. I'm so happy too, Tress, to have you, and it's good to meet you in this way. Lisa is saying she's so glad to be here. All right, so I'm getting a lot of glads to be here. I'm not getting questions about chairs, so which is totally fine. If we don't have questions, I'm happy to put a pin in it until next time. I do want to let you know what we're talking about next time in case you do have a question you still want to put in. Next time we're talking about next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're always here Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Eastern. We are talking about paint color trends for 20 and 21. Paint color trends, the forecast for 20 and 21. In fact, we just cut some great video today about your paint deck. Dun, dun, dun. That's all I'm going to say, but I can't wait till Steve gets that all edited. We'll get it out there to you because there are ways that you can use your paint deck you haven't even thought about. And they're good, and they're time savers and money savers and headache savers. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So here's a question that's off topic, but what the heck? Okay. How do you decorate a basic, how do you decorate a basic split level? Sorry, I had a handwriting problem there. A basic split level, or where can I get info? Well, I would look at a split level as I would look at a lot of open concept, honestly. Where can you get info? This is going to sound like a shameless, cheap plug, but me. I have an amazing course called the Decorating Genius System, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms. And you can use that for single room design or multi-room design. And with a split level, when you enter, you're getting a view of what's up and a view of what's to the side. It's a lot of, there's a lot of open concept. I grew up in a 1950s split level. So not that I was born in the 50s, but I grew up in a home built in the 50s. So I think that'd be a great place for you to go. The Decorating Genius System, 7 Simple Steps to Great Rooms. I really take you through everything you need to know. And Design Divas love that course because of the amazing results that they're getting. Head to the interiordesignadvocate.com website, and on my website, go to the Learn With Me tab, and you'll see that course. And then go to the blog and find a 20% off coupon there. There it is. So there it is. So that's how you would decorate in terms of strategy. Listen, decorating open concept, a split level, a central hall colonial, a loft. I have to tell you guys that the strategy of design is the same no matter what design style, no matter what design budget, no matter what color palette. Design strategy is the glue, and it's also the wind beneath your wings that keeps you going and on point. So that's a great question you're asking, but it's a big question. How do I decorate a center hall, a split level? It's such a big question that you need design strategy. That's my answer to you. So hopefully that helps you. And if I'm not the right teacher for you, I want you to find the right teacher, because girlfriend, you need strategy, and you're going to be A-okay once you get it. So Shelly is saying, is Steve dancing yet? Shelly, this is a sore point between Mr. H and me. Oh, he's claiming quarantine so he doesn't have to dance with me. We've gone through some lessons, and Steve's hip always hurts him at the end of the lesson, and I'm always dizzy and nauseous from all the twirling. So we are quite the pair. I do not think you're going to hear couple number 5 doing the paso doble when we are in town. If we're lucky, we'll get through 4 steps of any one dance. I think it's a lot of fun. Steve thinks it's total torture, but he's doing it to keep his wife happy. Gotta love that man. Elaine is saying, sun resilient fabric, southern exposure. Yes. Listen, indoor-outdoor fabric has changed so much that we're pointing it on roof, in sunny family rooms, sunny living rooms, sunny bedrooms. And it doesn't have to be Sunbrella. It can be, but there are other knockoffs and other people in the game. In fact, so many manufacturers that just were always known as just, straight household fabrics are doing indoor-outdoor fabrics, as well as what's called performance fabric. I think you should be looking at things that are performance. And Elaine, you are one of my students, so I know you've been through the Decorating Genius System course already, I believe, if memory serves. So you already know about how to pick the right fabric for the usage area as well. So make sure you're careful on that. Oh, there's no longer a Learn With Me tab on the Interior Design Advocate. It is now called Interior Design Online. I only run the company. I don't obviously know everything that's going on here. So to clarify, if you want to learn about my courses, go to my website, theinteriordesignadvocate.com, and then go to the tab that says Interior Design Online. Whew, thank heavens somebody over there knows what's going on. Sandy's saying, hey, I'm just starting. How do I start if I don't have a degree in design but a passion and want to do a design business? How did you learn everything? Did you get a mentor? Gosh, that's such a good question, Sandy. Yes, yes, and more yes. Sandy, first thing I want you to do, I want you to write to me at our customer service department, customerservice@theinteriordesignadvocate.com. I know it's a long handle, but it is what it is. I want you to get onto a mailing list that we're starting, or an information list. We're going to be doing something to support you, those of you who are either trying to start a design business, or your design business is on the younger side, under 5 years, and you're really trying to get to that first 6 figures. You just haven't gotten there yet. We got a lot in store for you. So get on that list so that you're being kept up to date. How did I get to where I am today? Training, strategy. Yes, I did have a mentor. I have used coaches as well. And I do think using a coach, if not a coaching program, speeds your results. I mean, tremendously. I look at where I am compared to women I went to design school with, and even not even now, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, I just saw that I was tracking faster. Not that this is a competition, but we'd get together for lunch and we'd be talking through things, and I'd always be trying to coach them and mentor them along. They'd say, how do you know what you know? And it's because of the coaching that I was doing with some coaches, one of whom is excellent in his, unfortunately. So Sandy, I hope I gave you enough information. If you have a follow-up question, feel free to throw it in there. Peace File is saying, I have a new sectional, would like chairs to go with it to give it a finishing touch. Okay, so I want you to be careful about your arms. Make sure your arms are in conversation, but not matchy-matchy. I don't know what your space plan looks like there, PC File. I don't know if you want barrel chairs. I don't know if you've got the room for 2 chairs. Make sure you're measured and this will all work. Be careful if you're doing swivels. Guys, be careful of swivel chairs, because sometimes people love to do swivels and they put a table in the center and then can't swivel, like you didn't leave enough space for them to actually be able to move and swivel. So I think there's a lot you could do. I do sectionals with 2 accent chairs or 2 club chairs, depending upon how much space I have. So I don't see a problem with it. PC File. And then Shelly Stanton is saying virtual lessons. I don't understand the question. Give me more, Shelly, give me more. Virtual lessons? Oh no, they're in-person dance lessons. And yes, happy wife, happy life. I'm gonna screenshot that and make sure I put that on Steve Hoffman's side of the bed tonight. Joe Collins is saying, I have a family 1925 channel chair with Queen Anne legs that is in mint condition, but the fabric is dated. Is there a way to recover it? Yes. Can I use it in a bedroom somewhere, in a transitional house? I don't see why not. And if the legs are a total disaster, you can always have them painted. You can have them replaced. You can rebuild furniture. If you really love it because it has a sentimental value to you, there's a lot that you can do, Joe. So, and I do think taking a very interesting modern fabric and putting it on a more traditional looking frame, something a little on the antique side even, makes those frames look really exciting. Anne is saying, are wingback chairs timeless? Great question, Anne. Are wingback chairs timeless? They have a long history, but you know, what we're seeing happening with wingback chairs now, as opposed to what was happening 10 years ago, 20 years ago, is very different. You know, the wing is becoming a little squared off, a little more stylized. Certainly the leg on the chair, you know, Joe was just talking about her cabriole leg, that Queen Anne style leg. So, you know, a classic shape like a wing will evolve as trend evolves as well. So if you have a wingback that just looks a little tired, a little bit dated, you can absolutely go to a good upholsterer and ask him or her, can you recut this frame? Can you reduce my wing a little bit? Bring it in a little bit, bring it down a little bit. I've done things like that. And the result is just so delish. And then you've, you know, spared the landfill, and you've also, you know, been able to keep something important in your home. Triple Bonnie, still want to know how you became Triple Bonnie, Triple Bonnie. Triple Bonnie is saying, what are your thoughts on a bench to replace chairs at a dining table? I love the look, and I think it's a great space saver when you do a bench at the side of a dining table. So that's good. Here's the downside. You need to make sure, Triple Bonnie, you know, if you have legs on your dining table instead of, what's it called? A base that is, oh my gosh, I can't think today. Pedestal, thank you. Instead of a pedestal base, you could have a hard time getting in and out with that bench. That's one thing to consider. But the bigger thing to consider is the slump. You know, if you have a chair with a back, you're having a nice dinner with your guests and your family, and people are kicking back, having a glass of Pinot after dinner, and just sitting and talking and laughing for a while. Hard to do for the bench people. The people on the bench are going to be thinking, when the hell can we get into the living room so I can sit on a chair with a back? So benches are not great for long-term seating, but they're great if you're tight on seating space. Also, if you have senior members in the extended family, scooching in and out of a bench, not great if people don't have great balance. So just be aware there. Triple Bonnie, that's what I'd say to you there. Still want to know how you got your handle. DM me. I still want to know. All right, let's see what else is happening here on Facebook. I'm getting hot, so we're going to get rid of this. Okay, don't need it. It was freezing when I first walked in here. Mr. H had the window wide open. All righty. So Michelle is saying, directly to the right of my front door. Uh-oh, this sounds like I'm going to need a picture. Yeah. Okay. Directly to the right of my door is a large entrance with a 13 by 16 piano room, has a bay window. Michelle, my love, I need a picture. If you're one of my students in one of my courses, pop a picture into the private Facebook group. That's why all of my courses have private members only Facebook groups, so you can post pictures so we can all weigh in. If you have to describe your room to me, chances are I need to see a picture to answer you well. So Michelle, I love you too much to give you a crappy answer. I'm going to say I need a picture to answer you well. Willette is saying, my daughter painted a rocker that belonged to my husband's great-grandmother. Oh, can I remove the paint without damaging it? Oh, I don't know. I am not crafty. I design it and then I hire workrooms to do it. If anybody has any information to share with Willette as to whether or not you can strip down an antique that has been painted without damaging the wood, I just don't know. I mean, you got to do a little sanding. Willette, maybe this is something you don't want to DIY. Maybe you want to go to somebody who really specializes in furniture refinishing, and then they can help you. But if anybody has any answers to that, you know, I'd love to know. All righty. Okay, questions. Okay, so Dawn Sharrocks is saying, I placed a lightweight garden stool to the outside of each swivel chair in my family room. Works great. Yep, absolutely. Dawn, you smarty girl, my design diva. Yes, Dawn placed it to the outside of the chair, not the inside, right? So you can swivel away from the garden stool, not into the garden stool. And listen, guys, I have put a table between swivels. I just keep my swivel far enough away from that table that I know it can clear. So Dawn, thank you for that. Great, great point. Michelle is saying that she's going to look into one of our courses. Awesome sauce. I love it. Michelle, if you do, go to the blog. Once you looked at the course, go to the blog for a 20% off coupon that's running right now so that you can save a few dollars on the course. There it is. Okay, so word over B. Word verb. Word verb. I can't read Steve's writing. Word verb. How to pick a painting. Lisi's laughing, people. That pelting me with peanuts. All right. How do you pick a painting for over a sofa? Oh, this is such a good question. All right. We're going so off topic, so I'm going to start wrapping it here. Pick a painting over a sofa. First, can't be little, right? Because art needs to be hung in relationship, size-wise, proportion-wise, as well as height, relative to the thing it's sitting over, next to, or near. So for a sofa, you can't do your kids' 3 graduation pictures. Those 11 by 14s, don't even order them. They don't belong on a wall. They don't even belong on a countertop. 8 by 10s, that's it. You need a painting, or when I say painting, I don't care if it's a giclée, if it's a real painting, if it's a printed image that's stretched onto a canvas. I don't care if it's mixed media. I don't care if you frame wallpaper, as long as you do something that is in the correct proportion over your sofa. You can do 2 pictures framed, or 2 pieces of artwork, let's say, framed over a sofa. You can do a set of 3, or triptych, a grouping. You can do a photo wall or an art wall. You can do one single large something yummy, but it's got to be relative in size, whatever you plan finally, to the size of your sofa. You have a 90-inch long sofa or a 4-seater big guy. You're not going to do the same size art as you would over a 72-inch apartment sofa. So keep thinking about the relative size that you want ultimately. In terms of where to shop for it, I don't know if that's what you're asking, how to pick. Oh, we just created, Steve, when is that going to be out and available? The artwork cheater guide. Is that out yet? CPR. I know, but we could put that out to everybody. 6 weeks. I just wrote a fantastic guide called the Artwork Cheater Guide, and it's hacks and cheats to find and create artwork when you don't own any. What do you do with those darn bare walls? And it's not ready yet, though. It's still in the publishing side, but oh, is it good? So check back with me, I guess, in a couple of weeks to see if that artwork cheater guide is ready to get out there yet. Did I answer you sufficiently? I hope I did. If not, word, verb, send in a follow-up, okay? Let's see. Elaine, nope. Lisa is saying, I just finished Window Boss and DGS. Is there a Facebook blog for DGS to post pictures? Yes, there's a private group for Window Boss, how to plan and select your perfect window treatments like a boss. There's a private group for the Decorating Genius course, and there's a private group for Design CPR, creating perfect rooms with accessories. Each of my courses has its own private group. So I encourage you, Lisa, go to the Facebook page, get in there, put in the request, and our team will make sure that you are a student of that course, and they'll let you in, no problem. So you can post pictures to your heart's content, and I look forward to seeing it. Okay, Becky is saying she joined late, but she's here. Glad to have you, Becky. All right, lovelies, I think we have pretty much all the questions taken care of that I can see. Oh, Dawn is saying, what is your opinion of installing the same wallpaper that's in a dining room in the nearby powder room? I don't love it. I don't love it. You want to get jiggy with it? You really love this wallpaper, Dawn? Why don't you get a piece of it and frame it like a big oversized piece of it and make that a piece of art in your powder room, and then pull a color out for the wall based upon that that wallpaper. How about that? I wouldn't repeat that same paper in a powder room. Powder room should have something a little different in it. You can take a wallpaper from room to room if they're contiguous spaces, but I wouldn't do what you're suggesting. Hopefully what I suggested will help you. So there it is. Okay. So next week, we're talking about paint color trends for 20 and 21. If you missed any portion of this, if you got here late, find us on YouTube at The Interior Design Advocate. If you're not following us on Instagram, girlfriends, what are you doing? What? You're killing me. Get over there so I can inspire you and take you under my wing there. On Instagram, we are at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius. If you want to know what we're doing at our design studio, you can always find us at at IDH Designs. That's at IDH Designs. Okay, lovelies, listen, it is time for us to wrap out of here. I am beyond pooped. So if I missed your question, if I didn't get to your question, if you put it in on the later side, sorry I didn't get to you. Next time, there's always a next time. We'll be back here 4 p.m. Tuesday 4 p.m. right here for color trends for paint colors for 20 and 21. Okay, guys, big hug to you. Stay healthy out there, and we will see you next week. Bye. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.